Hello everyone, this is Gail from Gail's Upstairs Studio. I hope you're all doing well. I've been doing some chores in my studio today, and I thought I'd bring you along for the fun part of one of them. I have been drying down some watercolor to make a new palette. For those of you who have watched for a while, you'll remember that I bought a bunch of Vinci Watercolor last summer. I started with a dot sample set, and I swatched everything out on camera, and I made the decisions as to how to start my collection, and I went from there. I do have them in a palette, though not a dedicated palette. You'll have seen this on camera quite often. It's my big studio palette. And I do have all of my Da Vinci in here, but they share space with M. Graham, Winsor & Newton, Daniel Smith, and some Mission Gold. And I really enjoy the Da Vinci so much that I decided that it was time to make a dedicated palette just for them. And coincidentally, not long back, Da Vinci had a 60% off sale on some of their larger tubes. That is one of the nice things about Da Vinci, is they have several different sizes of tubes, and they don't carry every color and every size. But they do have 8 milliliter tubes, which are these small ones here. And they have 15 milliliter tubes. And they have these huge 37 milliliter tubes. And so I took advantage of that sale, bought a few new colors to me, one new color to Da Vinci, and one that I'm replacing that I've run out of already. These are the colors that I already owned. These are my 4 new. And this is the palette they're going to go in. Altogether now I am going to have 24 colors, and this box holds double that. But I thought that was fine. I bought this a while ago at a local shop, and I thought that's fine because I'll have room to grow. Putting those to the side for now. This is a color diary that I made for myself. Now I do have a color diary that I bought last year, and it's this one. If you watch a lot of watercolor channels, you've seen it, but it's full. So instead of ordering another one, I decided to make one for myself. I have a little mini cinch machine, and this is just the back of a couple of different watercolor paper pads that I cut down. This is a little mixed media piece I did on watercolor paper for the front, and I like it because it just allows me to be a little bit more playful. You'll see I have Daniel Smith, M. Graham, Rosa, and Da Vinci, of course, Mission Gold, some Paul Rubens, and I have plenty more pages. I'm going to open it to Da Vinci, which, by the way, is in here first. And I have taken one of my silicone stamps. I've had these since before I had a YouTube channel. They're just silicone stamps for swatching, actually. And I used this and made that line there. And I've written my new colors down here, and we will swatch those out. So what do I have for new colors? This is a rebuy of Titan Buff, and I already had Titan Buff in an 8 milliliter tube, but I like to share paints with some of my friends, and I ran to the bottom of that one pretty quickly. Won't be running out of this one anytime soon. I got Benzimita Orange, which I loved when I did the dot sample card, but I didn't end up getting it for some reason. I think it was just I was trying to not buy too many at once. And I got a sap green. Now, I already have Denise's green, which is probably my most favorite green. But I have to have a sap green in every palette I do. It mixes well to make other greens, and it is just a really nice foliage color, even if it's a base. And then I got two 50 milliliter paints. One is Carmine Quinacridone, and the other is a new color for Da Vinci earlier this year, I think, and it's Perylene Red, and I have the Perylene Maroon, and I like that very much. So we have some colors to play with. Now I'll probably put this part to music, and we will just swatch some colors. And here they are, swatched out. I love that new red. And the sap green is beautiful too. They're all beautiful. And now we will play around with them a bit. I've moved these new paints to yet another plate. I had them in here before, but I've moved them to here so I can mix on the pan. I have laid out some mixing squares here where I can mix two colors to make a third one, and I'm gonna play around with a couple mixes here. I am going to write Vinci on the top. And I'm going to start first with just what colors. I think I'm going to start out with just putting a small line of each color up here. This is going to be where my painting is going to be, but this is just for this book, so I'm not worried about having the swatches right on there. We'll start with Tight and Buff. Tight and Buff is the only one of these that isn't a new color for me in this range. But I thought it would might be useful with this color combination. Going to do just a little swatch of each one. Really didn't want to make them that big, but we will go with what we've got. Next that was Sap Green. This is Carmine Quinacridone. And I'm not going to worry about doing gradients because I already did that on my swatch page. This is Perylene Red. And this is Benzimida Orange. And these are very soft because they've only been drying for a few hours, but I just wanted to play a little bit. Okay, so one of the colors I was hoping that I could accomplish is a corally color. So I think I'm going to try that with benzometer orange. And quincarmine, or carmine quinacridone is what they call it. Okay, so I got that to orange, and this happens, you just have to kind of go with it and get it until it's close to what you had in your mind. Make a little bit more pink, more quinacridone. Okay, we're gonna start with its darkest, and I am going to go ahead and lighten it out as I go. It's got quite a bit of water in it already. That's a pretty color. But now we will add some water. I don't think you can hear it on camera, but it's raining out pretty hard today, which is a great day to be in the studio. That's beautiful, especially in its lighter mix. That works out perfectly for what I have in mind for this painting, I think. Okay, so we have a nice pinky coral color with a little bit of an orange tint to it. Now I'd like to see if I can accomplish a little bit more of an olive green by mixing my sap green and my orange. So, and I will label these when I'm done. And I don't want a half and half mix on this one at all. I'm just going to put a hint of the orange in it. And just a little, well, I am going to put it on the page. Very soft, so using quite a bit actually. Probably shouldn't do that, but let's bring that back just a little bit. And then I'll dab it off on the paper towel, and then I'll add just that. Okay. Kind of what I was looking for, but I think we need a little bit more pigment of each of them. There's more of the sap green. And we're going to put just a touch of the orange in. That's wonderful. That's what I was looking for. It's kind of an olivey color. Oh, I didn't bother to do a gradient on that. And it's getting a little bit too much sap green in it because it is bleeding into my other color. Do this again. Because as much fun as this is, it's information too. So I really want to try to be accurate. A little bit of orange. There we go. That's a nice, oh, that's too much orange. We've been down this road before though, haven't we? All right, that's what I'm looking for. So There we go. That's what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. And the nice thing about this different green is where it is different from the sap green, because it has sap green in it, it goes nicely with it. So that's nice to know. Now what do we want to try? How about, I'd like to try the carmine with the Titan buff. So we'll go ahead and lay some of that down there and put some in this square. And we'll pick up Titan buff and put that in the square. Not too much. Add that. Ooh. And of course that's going to be more opaque because Titan buff has white in it. Oh, that's pretty too. That's a pretty color. Okay. I haven't done anything with perylene red yet. Let's put that on the pan and put it in a square. Okay. Let's see what that does with the orange. Don't know that I'll use it in this particular painting, but I don't know. Oh, maybe I will. Except I didn't make the orange swatch yet. Okay. Wow. This actually plays right into what I'm going for. I think it will make a great color for what I am planning. Just a little more orange than the perylene red, but not so much that it looks orange. It's just an orange, a little bit of an orange tint to it. Oh, I love that. Okay. I don't think I'm going to bother with these last two squares because I think that gives me what I need to know. I'm going to label these before I forget what they are. So I am going to paint some sort of geranium looking flower. I have two references, kind of, they're of my own. I was just playing around in my sketchbook at a craft show last weekend and came up with this. And I've got another project I'm working on. And so in my new journal, I have done just an outline sketch of a geranium as well. So I'm kind of going to put these over to the side and kind of refer back to them just as ideas. But I think now you see why I thought these colors would be great. And I'm going to start with 2 watercolor pencils just to kind of lay out my sketch very lightly. And because they're watercolor pencils, they will melt right into the paint and you won't see them when I'm done. And they are from Cezanne. I've shown those on this channel before. Yeah, I think that's enough. I just laid out my greens mostly, and I've decided I don't think I need to lay out my blossoms. I've done that enough that I think we can get there pretty easily. So more music. Let's get started. Okay, well that's not perfect, but that was fun. I played around with it quite a bit longer than I thought I would. Just trying a few different things. It's certainly colorful, and those colors are wonderful as geraniums, and that's a very good color story. And I'm glad that I labeled everything and did an example so I have something to look at if I'm looking for an idea for a color palette, a color story, or just something to practice on like geraniums. They need practice. But I started out kind of tight with it, but then I loosened up, and I think that was the best bet to do. All right, now the next shot will be of what the palette looks like with all these colors in it. So here is my new Da Vinci palette. Plenty of room to grow and no hurry to get there, but I will have more colors in this palette, I'm sure. This is about the neatest I've ever gotten watercolor into pans before, and this is as neat as this palette's ever gonna look, so enjoy it. Pretty, pretty color. It's going to be a mess before you know it. All right, so there's that. And this is my Da Vinci drawer. These are my new colors. Now, let's see. Yep, that still lays pretty flat. So that will go back in the cabinet. And this is what we learned. We learned that all these colors mix pretty well together. And I have off camera mixed the Titan Buff with all of them. That's Titan Buff plus Sap Green. That's what that gets. That is the Perylene Red, and that's very pretty. And we did that on, did we? No, we did not. This is a beautiful color. That's the Perylene Red with the Titan Buff. This is the Titan Buff with the Carmine, which we did here. And this is the Titan Buff with the Benzimida Orange, and that's a beautiful peach color. So this is a very nice palette for summer. I can see these two here being good shades of watermelon, the inside of a watermelon. So there's all kinds of options here. I like nothing better than a pretty color page. And then just to remind you, these are the four new colors, and these are the rest of the colors in this palette. I know this is a little bit of a meandering video, but this has been a little bit of a meandering day, so I thought you might enjoy just playing around a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you next time.